Good evening, everyone. This City Council meeting of Lancaster City Council is called to order on Monday, February the 23rd, 2026 at 7:01. Our invocation will be done by Apostle Urban Brown with Life in Christ Church here in the city of Lancaster. Our pledge of allegiance will be done by Mayor Pro Tem Mitchell Cheatham. I would ask everybody to stand at this time.
May we pray. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this day. We pray for this nation and the matters that concern it. Father, this city that you have blessed us to be a part of, we pray for it. We pray for this council, the matters on the agenda to be addressed today. Pray for your wisdom and your guidance as we proceed forward. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Would you turn and face the flag, and on the count of three, repeat the pledge of allegiance together. 1, 2, 3. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Jordan. Come in.
Still trying to recover.
All right, we have a presentation tonight, the Lancaster Police Department Recent Promotion and Life Saving Award. Chief Sam?
Thank you, Mayor, Council, City Manager. So we've had some retirements in our supervision, which made room for promotions, and we don't do many promotions. So I would like to share those with you and then share a life-saving award with you. So if you will, jump. So first up, our Lieutenant Eric Alexander is being promoted to Assistant Chief. Eric
All
Alexander.
right, all right.
Okay. Nervous about this. Go ahead. Jason Rohack was a sergeant, is being promoted to a lieutenant. Lieutenant. Officer Ricardo Sparks is being promoted to sergeant.
All right.
Detective Monte Cooley is being promoted to sergeant.
All right.
And we'll move on for life-saving award.
Well, congratulations to all of y'all.
Sure thing.
All the officers, attention for the reading.
Officers will stand at attention for the reading.
Oh, okay.
On December 19th, 2025, Officer Jason Tapscott, Officer Zachary East, and Officer Victor Penny were dispatched to the 2000 block of St. Croix in reference to a disturbance. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the reporting party, who stated that her husband had been smoking marijuana, consuming alcohol, and taken a blue pill. Officers located the male subject slumped over inside a vehicle and not breathing. Officer Tapscott immediately initiated CPR, which was subsequently continued by Officer Penny. Officer East administered 1 dose of Narcan and assisted with CPR efforts. Officers performed CPR for approximately 3 minutes until the Lancaster Fire Department arrived on scene. Lancaster Fire Captain Crawford and Lancaster Medic Martinez both confirmed that the officers' prompt actions saved the male's life. These officers' actions bring great credit to the city and the police department, embodying our highest standard of service and professionalism.
All right.
Officers, present arms. Order, arms. At ease.
Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Proud of you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Chief.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Finally.
All right. Hey, congratulations. Congratulations. All right.
Congratulations, sir.
Cleared the hair. All right, council, that moves us to our public testimony and citizens portion of our agenda. At this time, citizens who have pre-registered before the call to order will be allowed to speak on any matter for a length of time not to exceed 3 minutes. No council action or discussion may take place on a matter until such matter has been placed on the agenda and posted in accordance with the law. Anyone desiring to speak on an item scheduled for a public hearing is requested to hold their comments until the public hearing on that item. Do we have any?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll turn it over into the hands of our city secretary.
Okay, we have Solomon Bachman, 1219 Wildwood Trails, Lancaster.
Mr. Mayor, Council, here we are again. I wouldn't have expected to see City Hall on the agenda again so soon after we just delivered over 300 petitions to you at the last time this was on the agenda. But here we are. So the citizens wanted to come out and again make our wishes known that we don't want you to proceed with this. We're asking you to vote no tonight and say that you don't want to enter into an interim agreement. We don't want you to spend any money on this. I also have 51 more signatures on the petition since the last time I've delivered them to you. So I'm going to give those, and you guys can inspect them if you want with Ms. Arenas. I'm going to not use any more time because I want anybody else, but look around, look at all these faces. These are the people who vote for you, and they're going to remember if you don't listen to them next time around. Thank you very much.
Next we have Buchanan, 1243 Margaret Court, Lancaster.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I stand before you tonight to speak about agenda items 8 and 9. My understanding is that the City Council is considering spending, or committing themselves, rather, to spending $175,000 a month for 30 years to build a city hall. Mind you, you're going to make a commitment to build a city hall that you don't even have plans for, which doesn't make sense. What are we getting for $175,000 a month? What are we getting in this new city hall? How is it going to be situated? Is the $175,000 a month, is that going to cover just construction expenses, or is it going to also cover furniture and the equipment and items that is going to be needed for the staff? To me, before you start planning to spend money, you would sit down and make a list of what you're spending the money for and make a budget. It makes no sense to me that you have someone come in and pitch something to you to spend money, but you don't have anything to carry off of them with. I understand that this is citizens' money, so it's not coming out of your pocket, but it's coming out of the citizens' pockets in this city. And they need to know and should know that you are making a conscious effort, not just to spend money, but to spend it wisely. And building a new city hall that I would admit is needed. However, there are so many other needs in this city that comes before City Hall that you need to consider things like fixing our roads. Because I drive on a road every day that you repaved 3 years ago, and it needs to be redone now. So we're just spending money on things to say we're spending money, but we're not doing anything to get something out of the money that we're spending. We need to see, our citizens need to see something for their money, not just saying that we have a project, but a project that benefits the city. I don't see any benefit to the citizens of this city in building a new city hall. What are they going to get out of it? What services are going to improve? If you can answer that question, I'd like to know. Because as it stands today, this doesn't need to be done. And I submit to you that there are better ways to spend money, particularly when it's not yours.
Next we have Dallas Anderson, 315 South Center Avenue, Lancaster.
Hello, I'm Dallas Anderson, 315 South Center Avenue, and I know that some of you know me, and that you know that I'm against the new building of the City Hall over on the old Minyard site. Everything that the gentleman just said, I agree with, and he's right. I think you really need to realize, who you work for. I realize you're up there making the decisions as best you can, and you think you're doing what's best for the town, but you need to listen to the people you work for. We don't work for you. Yes, we give you our tax money, but we don't work for you. You work for us. You're supposed to do what we want. And it looks to me like there's plenty of people against this. And, there's other ways to go about this. There's that old grocery store building on Pleasant Run that could be revamped. That's just sitting there vacant. It's been for years. That could be turned into a city hall. Or you could go build a new city hall up there on the vacant property up there by the rec center and the library and the police station where it's just wide open up there. Man, I do not know why somebody here hasn't thought to really go after Aldi Corporation. That Minyards lot is the exact size of an Aldi building. It's already got a parking lot, and it's on a state highway with lots of traffic. Be a perfect place and historically accurate to put a grocery store back there, because that's what used to be there. And boy, I'll tell you what, a new city hall there that's far from being historic in the historic district, you know. And those of us who live there, only a few houses away, some of us, man, we don't want that construction there. We certainly don't want a 30,000 square foot building there. And I agree with the previous speaker. I do not think that we need that big a government right now. There's too many other things need money spent on them than that. You know, and you're not even talking about building something we own. You're talking about letting a company come in here, build a big building that we don't even own, and you're going to lease it from them. And then when it's run down 30 years from now, the agreement is to buy it from them. When we're going to be left with having to fix it up again, and then you won't want it either. You know, I really think, I hate to put it like this, I really do. I don't think that this group of people is qualified to make this decision based on what you know so far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Amelia Reed, 327 South Center Avenue, Lancaster.
I don't think we heard you.
Amelia Reed?
He was just in here.
My name is Amelia Reed, 327 South Center, and I have grown up in Lancaster my entire life, and it is a very family-based community, and I feel that putting a city hall building in the middle of a street would divide the community from the town square. I have spoken to many of the kids in Lancaster, the district, and they have agreed with me that putting a splash pad or a playground down in Lancaster, the historic district, would be very beneficial towards the kids here. And I have come to tell you that I would support the building of the city hall in the place where you're wanting it if you will build us a splash pad or a playground in Lancaster. So I have a sketch of what I thought it may be able to look like, and I was wondering if you could look at it.
Okay. You want to give it to me? It's a sketch. You want it back? You want it back, or you giving it to me? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next we have LaSharon Dawson, 1960 Creek Myrtle.
Okay.
This is not in reference to the building. This is in reference to the pig.
What?
You speak right
No,
anyway.
no,
Oh, okay.
no, yeah,
Okay.
it's a citizen's comment.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
no
confused.
problem.
I thought we was putting it in order. LaSharon Dawson, 1960 Craig Myrtle Drive. I'm here to speak on behalf of the PID Advisory Board that we have with Beltline Ashmore Estates. I have some concerns. I am one of the applicants that applied to join the board. We had a meeting back on the 3rd to have some discussion on nominations. Unfortunately, I was not upon that nomination, and I'm really not clear as to why, so I come to appeal my case before the council in hopes that a decision will be made from what I appealed to you guys. Our PID at Beltline Ashmore was formed in August 11 of 2009. It has only 3 board members, and it has been 3 board members up until February the 3rd of 2026. That's a very long time for 3 members to be on an advisory board. So I have applied to be on that. I've tried. My application was submitted last year, and I've got had the meeting this year. Just to kind of get a background of myself, I don't have my certificate with me, but I brought my book just to show you I attended the civic leadership back in 2009. So I've attended that as well. I have volunteered with the Lancaster Rec as a coach. So I have volunteered and done things throughout my community since I've been here as a homeowner as of 2000. So I have participated. I was also instrumental in getting the 50-50 program to fix our sidewalks in our community, and they were fixed as of January of 2026. I petitioned back a while for that, but I'm glad that it did get taken care of. I even have a neighbor that has wrote on my behalf, if you want to see that, as to why he recommended that I be a part of the PID board as well. You like to?
Yeah, you come up first. Thank you.
So I just point out that I have been involved in the Lancaster community for a very long time. I want to continue to do this. Most people ask me, why do I want to join the board? I would say transparency. Not at a city level, but at a ground level. The city does good in posting agendas and things about PID meetings, but from the community, from a local point on the ground, that information is not being put out there. So that's what I would bring to the PID board if allowed to be on it. Transparency. So I thank you for your time and listening to me. Thank you.
What is your name, ma'am? Dawson?
Yes.
Okay.
I go by Sean.
Dawson.
Next, we have Glenn Coleman, 1561 Marcellus Road, Lancaster.
My name's Glenn Coleman, a proud citizen of this town. I'm going to read something here first. It says, a legal contract where property owners grants another party exclusive rights to use assets such as real estate, vehicles, or equipment for a specific period in exchange for payment. Owner, listen to this, owner retains ownership while the user gains possession for a specified time. Why do you want to spend $35 million plus of citizens' money and not gain ownership? That's absolutely senile. That's putting it point blank, senile. Are you going to go spend $100,000 on something you're not going to keep for yourself of your own money? Why are you spending our money reckless? That $35 million, that doesn't include overcost. It doesn't include furnishing. It doesn't include other assets that are going to be added on. Y'all know as well as I know, contractors add on. Where are you going to get the money from? Behind me, myself. You're going to send the appraisers out. You're going to have them raise our property taxes again. And then you're going to turn around and say, oh, we didn't raise your taxes. The appraisers did. Y'all give them the budget. They go out and they figure out what they need to do to meet your budget. Why y'all want to burden the taxpayers like that? Like I said, that's absolutely senile. Spend your own money if you want to recklessly spend it. Don't spend mine. Mine's hard to earn. I'm retired. I'm a disabled veteran. I ain't able to go out there and get another job and work like some of y'all do. I can't get 2 or 3 jobs. There's a lot of others in this city that are the same way. My 92-year-old dad, do you think he can afford to have his house reappraised again? I don't think so. There's a lot of other seniors out here that are in the same situation. Why do y'all want to burden them even more? Y'all have a good night.
Next, we have Susie Weaver, 855 South Dallas, Lancaster.
I'm Susie Weaver, 855 South Dallas Avenue. I really didn't want to talk tonight, but I just want to say I love Lancaster. I love living here. I've lived here 42 years. I love the people here. It's precious. I love to tell people in Dallas that I live in Lancaster, Texas. I just don't like the "you live where" kind of attitude. But I think the thing that upsets me the most about this is not being, like he said, responsible for the money. My husband was on a committee one time at a church that wanted to put in a brand new asphalt parking lot because the little old ladies couldn't get to church because it was muddy. But my husband turned down because the church didn't have the money to buy it. He said, let's do fundraisers, whatever we need to do till we have the money. He was voted down. They borrowed the money. They put in the parking lot. They couldn't pay the loan. They lost the church, and the church doesn't exist anymore. That's sad, but they borrowed money against something they didn't have the money to pay. Why can't we get in a position where we save up money to do a city hall? Why do we have to borrow so much money? So I just think, y'all, we trust all of y'all. Just like they're saying, y'all are our leaders, and we expect y'all to lead us right and expect y'all to do the best for us. Thanks.
Next, we have Carolyn Miller, 537 North Dallas Avenue, Lancaster.
Good evening. You know, I've just had this song going through my head. The wise man builds his house upon the rock, but the foolish man builds his house upon the sand. And when you have a city, it's like building a house. If you do not have a firm foundation, it crumbles. It is apparent that our infrastructure is crumbling. I have lived in my home almost 30 years, and I've needed a new sewer line the whole time. The amount of money I pay for our sewer exceeds the amount of water. That's true for everyone here in this town. It is ridiculous, absolutely pathetic, what we pay for sewer. I'm also reminded of the commercial with Mr. Whipple and the Charmin. Boy, would I love to squeeze the Charmin. But do you know what? I have to use Scott toilet paper, because if I use plush toilet paper, I'd have to call the city to come clean out my sewer line. That, again, is pathetic. It is unacceptable. We need new sewer lines, and we need new streets. That is just like the hierarchy of needs. You have to have a firm, solid foundation. You have to have public safety. Those are the hierarchy of needs. Having a brand new spanking building is so far not necessary. It is not being a wise steward with God, having entrusted you as our leaders to care for the citizens. You are like our parents. If you had a child who needed transportation and food, are you going to go out and buy a brand new car because you want those things? You want a new car, but you're not going to make sure your child has the basic necessities? These are the basic necessities of the people who live here, and it is foolishness. We have crumbling infrastructure, and this is not wise. It is foolish. And for y'all to even put this on the table is sinful. Shame on you. And if you want the King James Version, I guess it's woe unto you, because it is unacceptable. Shame on you for even putting it on the table.
Okay, next we have Frank Mejia, 1500 West Main Street, Lancaster.
Frank Mejia, 1500 West Main Street. I'm here to say hell to the no for City Hall. The 6 people sitting right here, 6 people, they're not capable to doing the right decision for $65 million. It's a lot of money. We pay a lot of taxes between my son and I. We own 50 properties here. I pay a lot of taxes. I got a right to speak. You work for us, like the gentleman says. It's our money, not your money, not the city money. It belongs to me and the people behind me. So you're responsible for the money, and I want you to do the right thing. No city hall. 10 years from now, when we had $30 million cash, we build our city hall. Not $35 million with the interest. We can afford that. We got a lot of roads, a lot of sewer lines, a lot of stuff that we need. We need more police. We need more fire department. We need a lot of things we need. No city hall. Absolutely no. 6 people in here, I know you can you never made a $65 million decision. So don't do that to us. If you want to do it right, let's put it on the election. May this election day, put it on the ballot and let the people vote. And if 51% of the people vote yes, we'll have a city hall. Period. Thank you.
Next, we have Kathy Crisp, 739 South Dallas Avenue, Lancaster.
Hello, my name's Catherine Chris, 739 South Dallas Avenue. I've been here for a couple of years, and I want to first thank you all for all your service to the city. Every dealing that I've had with the city so far has been positive, and I love the town as much as my Aunt Jeannie did. Regarding the City Hall thing, I don't know that I have a full opinion on it yet because I'm just now hearing about it lately. But I do have some questions that I would like addressed whenever you're having your discussion. Number one, why do we need it? I hear we need more office space and things like that, but I would just, for that much money, when they're, like folks are saying, there's other things to do, I just don't know that it would be justified to, just for more office space for the staff. I do want everybody to be able to do their job efficiently. So, I'm sure there's a lot that we don't know about for the needs, and I would like to know that. I also am curious about why it has to be right here. Just seems to me like there's a whole bunch of open space down there by the library and stuff. I do like the idea of the town being centered around Town Square. However, there's not that much space right here. My sons are in the process of buying a house right here, and I would rather them not look out and see a multi-story building right outside their front window. So I'd just like to know the reasoning behind that. I'm also curious about the amount of debt that we would be taking on in the form of a lease, how that works at the end. Is it ours? Is it going to be maintained by whom and whose money all throughout that 20 or 30 years, whatever it is? And what if something did happen where it defaulted or something? It's sitting on city land. What happens with the building if something happens financially that we can't pay for it? I don't want my taxes going up anymore either. I just got a ridiculous increase, and it nearly broke me. And I'm hearing that a lot from my neighbors back here. And also, I'd like to know what's going to happen to this building if you vacate it. It's going to be torn down and something else built here with our money, or what the plan would be there if any of this came to fruition. Thank you for your time, and again, thank you for your service. I appreciate you all.
Next, we have Byron Pendleton, 3324 Dasher Road, Lancaster.
Mr. Mayor, thank you again for your time, sir, and thank you for the privilege of speaking in front of you and the City Council. I'm a very direct dude. I don't like sugarcoating stuff, and all we're doing is putting lipstick on a pig. If people don't see what's happening in Dallas, we're not spending billions, but to us, $63 million is billions in Lancaster, Texas. We don't need that. I'm gonna say the quiet part out loud that they've been calling me and texting me and telling me, if this passes, the city manager and her staff needs to be fired. Point blank period. If this passes, I know that District 2 and District 6 are safe in this election, but 4 is not. We will go out and campaign for who's running against the person in District 4. On the next election, 1, 3, 1, 3, and 5, we will campaign against them. Mr. Mayor, I'm telling you, do not pass this. I don't have time for all of. I'll let everybody else talk about the money. Let's just get straight to the point. It's time to go. We got 6 people. It's time to go. Y'all not listening. I said that last time I was here. If you don't like your job, you're not getting paid, just resign. It's simple. It's not hard. I'll write the letter up for you and let you sign it. I'll even pay to get it notarized if we need to do that. If this passes, the city manager and her staff, with all of her assistants, need to be fired.
Next, we have Rashawn Ford, 211 North Henry Street, Lancaster.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Just a few events to bring to your attention. I'm so glad there's so many engaged residents here because there's still time for them to join us in our Community Health Challenge. Hosted by It's Time Texas. Residents can go straight to healthiertexas.org and register or download the Wellify app. We are in the top 10 right now. I'm trying to push us to make sure we get to the top 3 is where I want to be. But I'm very excited to say week after week we've been in the top 10 for the overall challenge. Again, that is a community health challenge. And that ends on March 29th. You can go right to healthiertexas.org to get registered or for more information on that. This Thursday, the Lancaster Veterans Memorial Library is hosting a Black History Jeopardy event. That'll be from 5:30 until 6:30. The address there is 1600 Veterans Memorial Parkway, and that is free to the community. So please come on out. They're very excited about that event. And then last but not least, Saturday, March 7th is the redo date for the Duck Derby event that we will host at the Lancaster Recreation Center, which is 1700 Veterans Memorial Parkway from 10 until 12. There's still time to order your ducks. You can go right to our website and click on the flyer, and it lands you right to the purchase page to purchase those. It's $8 a duck. You can buy them ahead of time, decorate them at home, or you can buy them day of and decorate them at the Lancaster Recreation Center. And again, that will be from 10 until noon on March 7th. Thank you so much.
Excuse me, how much is the ducks?
$8.
Next, we have Edwin Smith, 616 Yale Drive, Lancaster.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. I'm here again to speak on the $63 million. I think that's a very bad idea. $63 million is a lot of money. I'm a homeowner. I live right across the street. Don't have any lights, potholes. I've taken pictures. I brought them up here. I presented them to no avail. And every time I ask for things to get done or talk to someone that's in charge about the gym falling apart, the equipment, roof is leaking, they say it's not in the budget. But we have $63 million, $175,000 a month to spend on something that we don't need, or I think we can find another way to do that or get it cheaper. $63 million for something that you're not going to own, it's not a good choice. And I think that you guys are capable of doing it. Like the gentleman said, you must, if you don't like the job, quit. But I think you guys like the job for the simple reason when you get voted for yourself a raise, you have the money and the budget to do that. But you don't have money to do the things that we need around here. I love Lancaster. Been over here 8 years. And as I said, I'm a homeowner. And I think we should give this a lot of thought. and not just sit back and spend money frivolously like you're doing. And like the gentleman said, it's not your money. You're working for us. And I think everybody around here would agree to that. And, you know, when we go and try to do stuff like this that doesn't make sense, it's always a hidden agenda. We would never know, but you know. And I don't think we should do it in moving forward. So I think we should really take that into consideration. Thank you.
We have Deborah Jackson, 221 Trinity Drive, Lancaster. I do not wish to speak. However, please record my opposition for agenda item 8 and 9. Henry Jackson, 221 Trinity, Lancaster. I do not wish to speak. However, please record my opposition for agenda item 8 and 9. Lavanya Waller, 1930 Tullia Street, Lancaster. I do not wish to speak. However, please record my opposition for item 9. Irene Mejia, 1500 West Main Street, Lancaster. I do not wish to speak. However, please record my opposition for agenda item 8 and 9.
All right, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that moves us to our consent agenda. Items listed under consent agenda are considered routine and are generally enacted in one motion. The exception to this rule is that a council member may request one or more items to be removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion and action. And I will ask our city secretary, Ms. Arenas, to read those items into the record.
C1, consider approval of minutes from the City Council regular meeting held on December 8, 2025, January 12, 2026, and February 9, 2026. C2, consider a resolution declaring an unopposed candidate in District 2 and District 6 in the May 2nd, 2026 general municipal election, elected to office, canceling the election to a single-member District 2 and District 6, providing for other provisions of resolution number 2026-02-04 as amended, or ordering the election to remain in full force and effect. C3, consider a resolution approving terms and conditions of a joint election contract and election service agreement with Dallas County Elections to conduct a municipal general election for the election of one Councilmember District 4 to be held Saturday, May 2nd, 2026. C4, consider a resolution accepting the 2025 Lancaster Police Department Racial Profiling Analysis Annual Report. C5, consider a resolution accepting the Annual Comprehensive Financial Reports, ACFR, for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2025. C6, consider a resolution amending Section 101800 garbage collection fees of the master fee schedule for fees and charges assessed for solid waste and recycling collection. C7, consider a resolution awarding RFQ 2025-02A2 to a Bridget Farmer and Associates, Inc., B. Concert Engineer, LLC, Halves and Associates, Inc., D. Hewitt Solar, Inc., Dawson Engineer, Inc., and F. Teague Nallen Perkins, Inc., for engineering, design, and professional service to perform on-call or as-needed professional engineering services for transportation, traffic, and bridge engineering, design, and consultation projects.
All right, council, you heard the consent agenda. What's your pleasure?
Agenda item C6.
What did you say, 2 and 6?
Just C6. Just 6.
C6.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 1 through 7, excluding 6.
I second.
All right, there's been a motion to approve consent agendas 1 through 7 with the inclusion of the item number 6. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those who oppose say no. Those who abstain say abstain. All right, may I help?
I would just like to, I'm glad we have a room full of people tonight. If y'all are mad about City Hall, y'all should be really mad about C6. It's the inclusion, it's the new rate fees for trash. I just want you to know the City Council just approved a new contract with the trash company without bidding it out. So I just thought y'all probably should want to know that.
And you just said inclusion instead of exclusion.
Well, exclusion. And that was my mistake. Minus number 6. Can I put it that way? Appreciate it. All right. Okay, council, what's your pleasure?
Well, I have a question for staff
Okay.
on that. I thought that we had the opportunity to discuss that.
You did, sir.
You passed it last week.
You all did discuss it.
No, I mean prior.
You did. We did. You
I
had.
thought so.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did have,
Y'all discussed it, and it was in my opinion that we needed to take it out to bid to see what the prices were. Y'all decided to just continue the contract as is
well, it was,
with the rate increase that they put in.
we voted on it.
Y'all did
and-
vote on it.
And we approved it.
Great.
Right, but we had a work session on it with ample amount of.
But y'all never sent it out to bid.
All right, council,
Anyways.
what's your pleasure?
Oh, I move to approve agenda item 6.
I second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve consent item number 6. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those who oppose, say no.
No.
Those who abstain, say I abstain. All right, it carries. All right, that moves us. If I can ask y'all to really, with your private discussions. Action item number 8, City Secretary.
Discuss and consider a resolution adopting the public-private partnership P3 guidelines and procedures pursuant to Chapter 2267 Texas Government Code.
All right, City Manager.
Mayor, members of council, pursuant to your strategic goals and objectives plan, we have before us our financial counsel, Mr. Steve Robbins. Will walk through the process along with Nick from West and Associates to walk through the process and what it actually is that you will be discussing and considering this evening related to the public-private partnership and the P3 guidelines and procedures subject to Chapter 2267 of the Texas Government Code.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you, Steve Robinson with Allen Boone Humphreys Robinson
and Brian King, Weston Associates.
We're here to present to you first the item on guidelines for public-private partnerships. Pursuant to Chapter 2267, the Public and Private Facilities and Infrastructure Act in the Texas Government Code. There are processes for establishing a transparent, fair, and efficient process for doing these public-private partnerships. The purpose of those guidelines is to make sure that we follow the processes that are required under 2267 to provide for receiving high-quality proposals, to have a clear evaluation of those proposals, and to make sure that these are executed in a way that advance the city's interest. The scope of those guidelines includes establishing what a qualifying project is and an application process to establish the submission requirements. As you know, y'all have established a request for qualifications and the requirements in order for those to be considered complete, and for a process for having preliminary discussions with the proponents, and a process for receiving those solicited proposals. Also in these guidelines that you have in your packet is the process for evaluation of those and establishing the criteria for evaluation, looking at the developer's qualification and experience, demonstrated competency for projects that they have done, the feasibility and design characteristics of the project, financial considerations, project timeline, meeting the city's goals for the project, looking at issues like long-term maintenance consideration, etc. It also recognizes that these are very complex projects. meaning that it is impossible for you to receive a proposal and have all of the questions and evaluations that are needed. So under the statute, in most instances, an interim agreement will be entered into. During that process, you will develop the final project scope because you have received a proposal, but now is the time to begin digging into that proposal and making sure it achieves your goals. And so that helps you define both the project scope and budget, final for those, which certainly can be altered and negotiated throughout that process. How you're going to pay for that preliminary design work to get to those answers, and establishing the initial responsibilities to develop that information. That will typically lead to further refinement of the proposal that has been submitted to make sure it achieves your goal. And then definitive agreements will come back to council that will fully spell out final scope, final budget, legal documents, where at that point you will be able to say, all of your questions have been answered about scope, cost, the lease, all of those things. None of those things are being decided today. What you are doing today is putting in place the criteria, and that's in your evaluation, and then just beginning the process with that interim agreement if you do item 9 also. So item 8 is merely establishing a process. That is all. And that item 8 can be used for this project or any other project that normal bidding processes do not really work for. The complexity of these types of projects are why they are done with public-private partnerships. If you go out and fully design a city hall in many, many instances, and then you publicly bid, you are going to get an answer, and you are stuck with that answer no matter how much it costs. The problem with that is when it comes in 50% over budget, you're back to the drawing boards and having to start the entire process over. This process with the interim agreement allows you to negotiate what your scope is and what the cost of that ultimate project to make sure it meets your criteria for financial feasibility or viability, what your goals are. And so none of those things are being decided today. The first is to put the process in place under item 8, and I'll go ahead and say under item 9, if you proceed, it will simply say you've received a solicited proposal pursuant to your RFQ. It checked all the boxes for the things that it needed to be in that proposal, and you want to begin authorizing your staff to begin negotiating that interim agreement so you can begin putting some meat on the bones. So happy to answer any questions. I don't know, Brian, if you want to add anything else to that. Okay. But the item 8 is merely putting the process into place by having your application and criteria so you check the boxes under 2267. I will mention in your packet there is one typo. The best value determination, it says 2267.063. That should be 053. Our apologies. We'll send you back a revised one that has the correct citation.
All right, Counselor, do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
So I do, just so that I'm clear. This is approving to find out the scope of work, and this is going to come back to us, it sounds like, multiple times.
That's correct.
Okay. So I had taken notes with the speakers that came down and presented themselves. So we would then find out and then can be confident, okay, and have answers for some of these questions that could be incorporated into the scope of work.
Correct. I think that all of the questions on scope, price, et cetera, will all be questions that will be answered through a process.
Correct.
You're at the start of that process.
The very start.
Very start of that process.
If this gets approved tonight, 8 and 9, okay, the citizens aren't going to see dirt flying out there Monday morning.
That is correct.
Okay. We are just a starting point for a very long process
for the
that still
process.
needs to take
Correct.
place.
Anyone else? I would ask y'all again, please, ma'am, I would ask you, please, no sidebars. All right, thank you. All right, any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, council, what's your pleasure?
Council, just a housekeeping matter.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As noted, the specific section that would be amended in this is Section 5.4 under Article 5 in Exhibit A. So it reads, "The evaluation committee shall recommend the private entity offering the best value to the city under Section 2267063. As Council said, that would be 22053. Which requires the city to make a best value determination in evaluating the proposals received and consider total project cost as one factor in evaluating the proposals. In addition, the guidelines that you are adopting, what you're doing is, what you're considering here is in order to enter into any public-private partnership, Section 2267052 requires the adoption of guidelines by a responsible governmental entity. So in order to do this process, this would be the first step, is establishing the guidelines not only for this project, but any other Chapter 2267 project that may come before you in the future. One point of what this, and basically that subsection 2267052 contains all the guidelines into it contains all the requirements of what these guidelines. It's fairly extensive, but some of the things basically include a financial review and analysis that at a minimum consists of a cost-benefit analysis, an assessment of opportunity cost, and consideration of the degree to which functionality and services similar are already available in the private market. And so basically that's just one section, but there's a whole list of criteria that are required that this would put before you. So it establishes essentially the guideline. So what you're voting for in 8 is merely to adopt the resolution for a public-private partnership guidelines applicable to all projects that might come before you under Chapter 2267. That is the sole thing before you in this item.
All right. Y'all have it? Y'all have it? Go ahead.
So by having these guidelines in place, it actually even brings forward more detail of the transparency that has to be done, because you have to meet these guidelines and criteria regardless of what any kind of public-private partnership, which cities do occasionally.
That's
and we
correct.
do not have the policy in place at this time.
Correct. So this is Chapter 2267 of the Government Code that applies to public partnerships of this type. It's 33 pages. So it is a very complex, very step-intensive, very process-intensive process. This would be adopting a policy for the city applicable across the board to any Chapter 2267 project that may become before City Council.
Anybody else have any questions for the attorney? All right, council, again, what's your pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 8.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve action item number 8.
I'm sorry, before you vote, is that with the agreement or with the amendment discussed by council and by myself?
Yes, it is.
Right, there's been a motion and a second to approve action item number 8. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no.
No.
All righty. For those who abstain, say I abstain. All right, it passes. All right, that's action item number 9. City Secretary.
Discuss and consider a resolution acknowledging receipt of a solicited public-private partnership P3 proposal from Spectrum Properties Ltd. for the design, build, finance of Lancaster City Hall, making findings under Chapter 2267 Texas Government Code, authorizing city manager to negotiate and enter into interim agreement with Spectrum Ltd. for preliminary project development services.
That's all right. So is this a companion to action item number 8, city manager?
Yes, sir. And the
Okay,
council
go
just
ahead.
kind of gave you the briefing on both items at the same time, but he's available
If
to
he-
come back if council
you-
has additional questions. As he noted, this is not committing you to anything other than entering into a preliminary agreement to determine answers to questions that you all may have related to, do you want to proceed with final construction or even the development process of a city hall? And Steve and Brian, or David, all three of your council can come back and answer additional questions that you may have.
Mayor and council, just some additional background here. This is a process that is expressly authorized. I guess 2 points here. First, let me back up. So this is, again, what's called an interim agreement. An interim agreement is contemplated by the statute specifically in section 2267059. And so it says, before or in connection with the negotiation of the comprehensive agreement, which would come before you later, the responsible governmental entity may enter into an interim agreement with the contracting person proposing the development or operation. The interim agreement may, 1, authorize the contracting person to begin project phases or activities for which the contracting person may be compensated relating to the proposed qualifying project, including project planning and development, design, engineering, environmental analysis and mitigation, surveying and financial and revenue analysis, including ascertaining the ability of financing for the proposed facility. 2, establish the process and timing of the negotiation of the comprehensive agreement, which again is separate and would come later. And 3, contain any other provision related to any aspect of the development or operation of a qualifying project that the parties consider appropriate. The other thing to sort of note in this entire Chapter 2267 scheme is, let's see, is subchapter B, the very first part of subchapter V, which is qualifying projects. A person may not develop or operate a qualifying project unless the person obtains the approval and contracts with the responsible governmental entity under this chapter. So just to be clear what this is an interim agreement under 2267059 for those project planning, development, design, engineering, environmental, surveying, and financial and revenue analysis. That's what this agreement would be. Before it could proceed to a final, it would have to come back before you pursuant to not only the law that you guys deal with every day, but specifically under 051 requiring approval of this body before it. So this is a preliminary or intermediate stage for those project planning functions is what this would be. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions, Council?
So to clarify, if this is approved to do an inter-agreement, then that has to come back to be approved by council. It cannot move forward other than we're getting information in order to see what is out there. It doesn't mean that we're actually moving forward with the whole thing. This is just a fact-finding, getting the information to be able to see if it's something that to consider.
Correct. What this would do is, as written in the agenda item and the cover item, is this would enable the city manager to negotiate and enter into an interim agreement for preliminary project development services only. As long as that is below her signatory authorized threshold under Texas law, which currently is $100,000, then it would not have to come back before you. However, it does has to go through the review process for the review committee, the internal review committee under this, and and in order to proceed to the final stage, the final contract would have to come before you And there's various procedures and processes under that. So this is very much an interim agreement for, as you said, I think, project planning stage.
Just to get the information.
Right, to get information on what the final contract would look like, what all those parameters, engineering, financial, planning, things like that.
And we could pull out at any time.
Yes, this does not, in no way does this obligate you to any position on the comprehensive agreement, which would come before you for consideration. That's correct.
All right, any other questions?
I just have a few comments.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I can't say much more than what y'all already said tonight, and if I watch my podcast, y'all know exactly how I feel about this. This is a slippery slope. This will just give us one more inch till we get 1 inch closer. If anybody believes that, hey, we're just going to pass this tonight just to kind of see how we feel about it, then y'all are fools. Thank y'all very much for that's how exactly what's going on. This is let's pass it a little bit by a little bit till we get to our goal. Y'all are 100% getting fooled tonight, guys. We have
young man.
I'll let him leave.
I can't watch this anymore.
I understand, Dallas.
Have a good night.
You know, the issue is they promise you the taxes aren't going to go up. I don't know if that's true or not. But what I can tell you is for sure $175,000 out of your tax dollars every month is going to go to a new city hall. And also somebody asked about the lease. Well, let me explain to you how the lease works. So this is a triple net. I own a lot of commercial properties, and I can explain commercial leases very well. It's going to be a triple net lease. A triple net lease means you pay all the rent, and then you pay maintenance, and then you just pay insurance, and then you're supposed to, in this case, you're supposed to pay taxes. In this case, there's no taxes. But you are going to have to pay for all the maintenance, and you're going to have to pay for the insurance. That's not included in the payments that they're asking for. So it's going to be $175,000 plus the insurance and maintenance on this building. And since we don't own this building, we don't do the maintenance to our specifications or how we want it. We have to do it to the landlord's requirements. So I want you to understand that. How you feel.
Hold on,
100% how you feel.
hold on, Marco. We give all of y'all opportunity to come down here during the citizens' comment. If you wanted to say something, that would have been the time to come down here. Now, he's the only one that has the floor. We don't need the back and forth and you agreeing with him and all that. And I'm going to ask you again, please, no sidebars and no exchanging conversation with whoever.
We already said what we said, and
All
you're going
right.
to listen to us or what out of here.
All right.
Listen to the people, Mayor.
That's good. That's good. Thank you.
Listen to the people.
Good. All right. Now, I'm asking y'all not to do that.
Okay.
All right. We respect y'all. Listen, we respect y'all by allowing y'all to come up here and speak.
I'm going to stand and say this. The
No.
law does not allow
No.
you to tell us we can talk.
I didn't
The law
listen.
says we have the privilege to talk. We have the right.
You out of order.
Don't stand correct.
You out of order.
No, sir, I'm correcting you.
You out of order.
It's not a privilege. It's the law.
Can come and get him and show him where the door is.
You want to kick me out, sir?
Yeah, he gonna.
You ain't gotta
You
kick
out of
me out.
order. You out of order. You out of
You ain't
order.
gotta kick me out.
You out of
I will
order.
walk out.
Okay, go
And I
ahead.
will also
Go
consult
ahead.
an
Go.
attorney.
Go on. We respect. We respect y'all. We respect y'all by giving you an opportunity to speak.
Carol, this is ridiculous.
All right. Ma'am, there you go. We can't have it. We can't have it. Y'all being out of order. Y'all being out of order. All right. Now you need to leave too. You need to leave too. But y'all out of order. All right. Finish your comments, Marco.
This isn't the last stage of this. What y'all need to know too, as soon as they get their West Main or get their new city hall, 700 West Main is going to be under construction too. That's already been discussed. It's already been presented before this body. So 700 West Main is down the street. It's where we keep the equipment, animal shelter is. So that right now is being under construction. That's next. So that's probably another $15, $20 million at least. So add that on top of this. They talk about buildings in the City Hall in 700 West Main way more than they've ever talked about the infrastructure. If y'all want to know about the infrastructure, y'all don't want to know about it. Because if y'all knew what I knew, y'all would live terrified every day. Our sewer lines are old. Our water lines are old. Our streets are about the only infrastructure you can truly tell. And if you think those are bad, you have no clue. I was bragging for a while that when I got elected in 2010 that I was bragging that we had new ambulances today. In 2010, when I got elected, I didn't realize that a city could be so broke that it couldn't have an ambulance that make it to the hospital. And I bring that up a lot because it was asinine to me that how could a city be in that situation financially in America? I didn't think that was possible. But when I got elected here in 2010, I found that out. And so I've been talking about, well, we've been doing a good job. We've been buying an ambulance. We've been doing a good job. And I was proud of that until I talked to the fire department and found out one of our ambulances has like 150,000 miles and the other one has like 175,000 miles. So like history repeats itself. So instead of doing what's important and supporting the police and fire and improving on the infrastructure, here we go again. We're wasting money on the things that don't need to be wasted on instead of putting it where it belongs. Carol talked about transparency on item 8, but it's pretty transparent to me. Y'all don't want a city hall, yet they're still pushing it forward. Stay in the fight, guys. We're not done yet, but we have a long fight ahead of us. So thank you.
All right, any other comments, questions? All right, council, what's your pleasure?
I make a motion to approve action item 9.
I second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve action item number 9. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no.
No.
Those who abstain say abstain. All right, it carries. That moves us to action item number 10. City Secretary.
Discuss and consider a resolution approving the City of Lancaster Public Improvement District PID Advisory Board appointments.
Mayor,
Well, hold on. All right, we're gonna read action item number 10 again, so it can be heard on record. Go ahead, City Secretary.
Discuss and consider a resolution approving the City of Lancaster Public Improvement District PID Advisory Board appointments.
All right, staff and
Mayor, I have
Okay.
spoken with the city manager and I'd like to request to table this because I've requested to have brought forward for discussion at a work session about changing our PID policy on the amount of individuals on the boards. Right now, we have 3, 5, or 7, and many times they have a hard time getting to 7. And if we cap it at 5, so it's to bring it forward for discussion and then have this come back and move forward on it then.
all right, you heard that she wants to table it for a work session.
So I make a motion to table item 10 to a
Work
date to
session.
be decided in the future.
Second.
City Attorney, I thought was you getting up? Oh, okay.
Not unless you.
No. It looked like you was getting up. All right, is then a motion and a second to table action item number 10. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those who abstain say abstain. All right, it carries. That moves us to action item number 11. City Secretary.
M26-07, discuss and consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a revised development agreement with Historic Square Properties LLC relating to building material and landscaping for the development of the property described as Lot I-5, Block 2, out of the original town of Lancaster, addressed as 150 Historic Town Square, City of Lancaster, Dallas County, Texas.
City Manager.
Mayor, members of council, this item before you this evening is to consider a development agreement related to property addressed as 150 Historic Town Square for the purpose of developing a boutique hotel. Council, you'll recall that in 2019, the state legislature passed legislation that does not allow you to regulate your building materials for the development that meets the standards you have established. This item appeared before you at the January 12, 2026 meeting where you passed on the item to allow the applicant time to work through the subsequent item number 12, related to some placement of dumpsters as well as some exception requests. The item is back before you this evening, and staff is requesting approval of this item as it has been approved, and we do have a signed and notarized copy from the applicant.
All right. Council, do you have any questions? Comments? All right. What's your pleasure?
I make a motion to approve item 11.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve action item number 11. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Those who abstain, say abstain. It carries. That moves us to public hearing item number 12. City Secretary.
M26-03, conduct a public hearing and consider an ordinance granting a special exception to 2.3.6 and 3.0 of the Downtown Design Overlay District, 14.101B2A of the Lancaster Development Code, and 24.02.008B2 of the Code of Ordinances, requesting variance to lighting, windows, building heights, material percentages, landscaping, open spaces, and dumpster location requirements on the property known as Lot 1-5, Block 2, out of the original town of Lancaster, addressed as 150 Historic Town Square, City of Lancaster, Dallas County, Texas.
All right, City Manager, I think this is a companion to number 11.
Yes, sir. You all will be required to conduct a public hearing regarding the exception request related to the lighting, as well as related to the building design guidelines with windows, height, and building materials, as well as the landscaping. And then the applicant had a request for the dumpster location, and the applicant has come back with placement of the dumpster on the actual site for the development, and all the other exception requests remain consistent. With the recommendation of this item, the staff is recommending approval. The notice for this public hearing was published in the newspaper Record on February 7th, 2026, the Rambler newspaper. And staff did mail notifications to property owners within 200 feet of the subject site. 3 letters were received in support of the item, and none were received in opposition. And again, we are recommending approval as it has been presented, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right, Council, do you have any questions or comments? At this time, we would open the public hearing portion of this item. Do we have any, City Secretary?
We have Alan Knoll, 522 Country Lane, Capel.
I'm on 13, not 12.
Okay.
Next one.
All right. Is there anyone in the audience care to speak on this item?
And the applicant is here present if you have questions for him.
You have questions to the applicant? Seeing none, at this time, we will close the public hearing. What's your pleasure?
Mayor, I make a motion to approve item 12.
A second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve public hearing item number 12. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those who oppose say no. Those who abstain say abstain. All right, it carries. That moves us to public hearing item number 13. City Secretary.
Conduct a public hearing, consider a resolution of no objection allowing the Javelin Group Project Mill Branch Manor to proceed with a tax credit application to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. The proposed project is a multifamily age-restricted housing development proposed to be suited on approximately 5 acres and to be located at 1313 West Main Street, Lancaster, Texas, 75146.
All right, City Manager.
Yes, Mayor, members of council, the item before you this evening is coming from a development for the Mills Branch Manor, which the applicant is proposing a 70-unit, 3-story multifamily, age-restricted senior housing project to be located at 1313 West Main Street. The applicant is proposing to do this development using tax credit housing through the State of Texas Department of Community Affairs, where they would be seeking financial assistance for their project. The city of Lancaster is being requested to sign a resolution of no objection, and that resolution would such action would basically be a statement that the city is not objecting to the project, and the applicant could then submit this with their application for scoring. This is not the Public Facility Corporation where the applicant would not pay any property taxes, but this does have other implications. So you would be, if the council chose to approve this, the applicant is requesting that they would have to bring this item back before you for development. But they are requesting that you give them a resolution of no objection, and they're also asking that if you approve the resolution, that you would allow them to have a fee waiver of any of their permanent application fees in the amount of $500. The city council could approve a resolution of support, which would mean you support the project and their application to the state. The city council could approve a resolution of no objection, which means you're not opposed to it, or you could take no action. It does not prevent them from submitting their application. It just does not lend any additional points to their application process as it goes before the state of Texas. The applicant did around 5 p.m. send a PowerPoint presentation if you all choose to that, but the pictures that are in the PowerPoint were already also included as a part of your packet related to the development that they are proposing to do. And the applicant is here, and I believe requesting to speak before you in the public hearing portion of this item. Staff would be happy to answer any additional questions that you may have related to the project.
Council, do you have any comments or questions for the city manager or the staff?
I'm pretty familiar with this property. It's over 50 acres. Why are they just applying for 5 acres?
They're only wanting to develop their 5 and not the whole site.
So they don't own the whole parcel?
No, sir. They're going through a process, but they are not developing. They're only trying to develop the 5 acres.
But this is kind of, if we approve this, it's kind of saying that we're okay with the project to a certain extent. Or the type of business.
You're saying you're not you're saying you have no objection if you have options, right? So if you say you support it, you're supporting their application.
Well, I got some questions, right? But my question is, if it's 50-acre property, they
have to come back. They cannot.
Right, but why is it just 5 acres?
Because that's all they're choosing. Yeah.
So do you own the whole parcel of land?
Come on up. No. Yeah. Hold it. Just come up. No, come up and give us your name and your address for the record. Instead of talking from the pews, as they say. All right. Go ahead.
So thank you. My name is Alan Null. I'm with the Javelin Group in Dallas. And
I'm Ryan Garcia with JES Holdings.
So we've got a whole presentation, but to answer your question, it's actually over 70 acres. So we have the whole thing under contract.
Purchasing the whole thing?
Purchasing the whole thing.
So you're going to own from Maine to Blue Grove?
Yes, sir. So we're planning a mixed-use development. The reason we're here tonight, and it's a complicated process when you apply for tax credits. So the senior housing deal is really the catalyst for the whole thing. One thing, just so everybody knows, it's a very, very competitive process. If we get a letter of support, we'll absolutely win and we'll get the award. If we get a letter of no objection or nothing, we'll lose. So it's very cut and dried in terms of our process. So what we're asking for tonight, as the city manager said, it's a step in the right direction. It's not zoning. It's not a development plan for the whole thing. It basically just allows us to put in our application with the state, and we'd have to come back and work through all the...
So if we give you this for 5 acres, could y'all do it for the whole 70? Do y'all just need like 5 acres to start the process? Is what y'all doing?
So the very first phase, it's a mixed-use development. The vast majority will be single-family. This is the only multifamily parcel that we're doing, and it has unique financing. So tonight, all we're asking for is this first step so we can put in our application. It will literally take about a year before we can get the whole thing approved and funded. It's just a very drawn-out process with the state. So that's... And
I'm very familiar with this property. It's probably one of the prettiest pieces of property in Lancaster.
I
the
agree.
amount of trees and things that it has is just, you don't find that 15 minutes from Dallas anywhere else. So I just want to be very protective of that property. And
sure.
And the fact that y'all are just trying to do 5 acres of your own 70 just seems kind of suspicious to me, I'll be honest. So.
Well, and I never said we're only trying to do 5 acres. Mm-hmm. We want to do the whole 75 acres. But to move forward in the process, we have to put in our application for the 5 acres. The other 75 acres doesn't have anything to do with tax credits, just a conventional development. It's got some commercial, it's got some single family.
Is this going to be age restricted by deed, or
so
it can never turn into just multifamily at all?
Yes.
Okay. So
The multifamily is, not the entire 75 acres,
right.
the 5 acre piece.
Right,
yes.
Said it's 70 acres, not 75, right?
It's about 75 total,
Okay.
so there's 5 plus 70.
Okay, so most of it you plan for it to be single family homes, but you just want some multifamily for, or it's not even multifamily, it's just, it's going to be
senior housing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. So, all right, thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else have any questions?
And we're happy to show you the site plan and some other things if you'd like to see it, or just happy to answer questions.
So when you said senior housing, are you talking about Section 8?
No. So these are, thank you. And let me show you a picture of it. So what we're talking about, here's the site. As other councilmen said, it's right in the middle of town. We think it's the perfect location for seniors, being right next to the Walmart grocery store. And again, I think it will be a catalyst. This is about a $20 million community that our goal for the whole thing, and it's turned sideways so it'll fit on the screen. So Beltline's on the left side and Main Street's on the right side. You can see the little Walmart logo there and where the Starbucks is. So I'm sure that the existing owner is a 95-year-old guy who's owned this for over 20 years. He's still going to retain the commercial along Beltline. There's another owner named Mr. Hargrove who owns the commercial going along the Pink Road. So our vision for this is the senior facility is the part in light green up at the top. So it's a relatively small part of the whole thing. But we feel like this project needs a catalyst to get everything moving. And we really think, and I agree with what you said earlier. I grew up in DeSoto, like 3 miles from here. So I think this is a phenomenal site, and it's a great opportunity to develop something really high quality. I view this as the best site in Lancaster that hasn't been developed. So there's a lot of thought that needs to go into the single family part and the commercial part. We just have so this is a rendering of our senior facility. It's very small. It's about 70 units. This is the 4th one of these that we're doing. The other ones are all next to grocery stores. That's a big deal for us. If you just go build a senior facility out in the middle of nowhere, it really doesn't do favors for the seniors that live there. We're mainly in the nursing home business. We've been in that for 20 years. And when COVID hit, we realized that seniors on fixed incomes are just getting clobbered by inflation. So this is a brand new, great building that people can be safe in and really enjoy. So we can't buy just 5 acres. It's all or nothing. So we're making a huge investment in the city and in this site, and I really think it's going to jumpstart the rest of the development that's really I think without a catalyst, it's just going to be sitting there for a long time. So this will get everything moving.
Can you go back to the other map, the first map?
Yes, sir.
So what percentage is that for the seniors, for the catalyst? What percentage of the other areas would that
So
be?
I'm not, I don't have my calculator, but it's 5 acres out of 75. So whatever percentage, 5 acres. The green part's 5 acres. That's right.
And what are the other colors there? I see the
Sure.
multiple.
So we envision commercial going down the new road in the front, as well as, so the blue little areas there, those are smaller pad sites that aren't the prime retail. We're thinking, in fact, I have some pictures here. These are some other projects that are very similar. So all of the units have full kitchens and full living areas.
Okay.
What we're thinking for the commercial is maybe a bank, some restaurants. This is the townhome community we're building in Arlington right now. So we haven't really gone through with a lot of builder discussions on
Are
what.
all those tax subsidies too, as well?
No.
Only the 5 acres?
And there's not they're financed with tax credits, but we pay full property taxes. So there's not a tax subsidy per se. Our investors are large banks who they get some incentives from the federal government. So, but just that one part is all we're talking about with that financing.
So we have townhomes, multiple homes, and then we have single housing as well. And then what's in the purple area out?
So
Those look like larger lots.
so what I would say the beige color right where it says park, those are the guidelines we've used so far are the overlay district. So it outlines various shapes and sizes of lots and houses. So we are just now starting to talk to home builders, but our general idea would be to put the higher density townhomes, cottages, patio homes near Beltline, and then as you go back towards Main Street, for those to be bigger, and as you get to the purple, so I'd say, medium density in the middle and the lowest density along Main Street.
Councilmember Glassky, I want to be clear. They haven't presented any of that, nor, in fact, some of the meetings, they said that some of like the commercial and other things he's referencing wasn't in there. They wouldn't be ones trying to bring any of that forward. Their application is solely for the 70 unit,
For tonight. That's right.
Again, they haven't presented any of those plans.
This is just completely, we don't know what this is.
Right,
Yeah,
it's just the
nothing's in it.
70 unit, your request
Right,
before
right.
you is for
What is
either a
staff's-
letter of support.
What is staff's recommendation on this?
So historically, we've recommended you take no action on tax credit properties based on the income restrictions, et cetera, that typically accompany projects like this, as it has been in contradiction to your objectives to continue to elevate the household income in the community.
Mayor, make a motion to,
Hold on for a minute. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
Yeah, that just, I got to agree with that. That kind of goes against what I believe is our vision as for higher end income homes than to put this involved with just 5 acres and then have an unknown for the rest. This doesn't, I'm sorry, it doesn't sit well with me.
Well, and again, the seniors that we're talking about, the income restriction, they can make up to about $60,000 a year. So we agree in this program to limit, it's not an unlimited rental that we can charge, but there's a need here in Lancaster for senior housing. And that's, again, we're bringing in a $20 million project that pays full taxes, and I think it really would.
That also then, if I may, for staff, that would, what are the three the three options and for the body there. I hear support, no objections, a
Or you can
resolution,
take no action.
or no action.
Well, no action will terminate, it'll kill it. So if you want to kill it, don't support it. The only way we can move forward is if you support it. We'll just terminate the contract on the whole 75 acres because it won't work without it. It's your prerogative, obviously, but that's just so you know.
Thank you. Mayor, make a motion.
Okay.
I make a motion.
Oh, I'm
We have those public
sorry.
hearing?
I'm sorry. We got deep into this. Dude, okay, we on the head.
Mayor, make a motion to close
Hold
public
on,
hearing.
I had to open the
yeah,
public hearing. Thank y'all. Yeah. All right. At this time, we're gonna open the public hearing portion of item number 13. Is anybody in the audience care to speak on this? Well, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Now, council, what's your, oh, come on. Come down and state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Lavanya Waller. Address is 1930 Tulia Street.
That in Lancaster?
It is.
Okay.
We're talking about our city and the growth that you guys haven't even addressed with our infrastructure. And a development like that at Beltline and Blue Grove, traffic is already bad at that intersection with one lane. How could you guys even think about or consider developing of that property right there? None of these things are addressing the growth of this city. We still have streets that are only one lane. And it's taken, I don't know how long to get through our town now. I've been here 8 years. And from Pleasant Run to 35, any time of day, because there's diesels or school traffic, it's 20 minutes now, when it was only about 10. And you guys claim to live here, so you're not experiencing any of this? You don't see what's happening? I mean, I don't see how you guys can keep trying to build stuff and add things when you're not even addressing the growth problem. It's a good problem, but you need to address this with the infrastructure first. I mean, we're all being inconvenienced from the warehouses. You said in our town hall meetings now, none of our fees were going to go up. Surprise, surprise. Now our trash is going up when you threw all those numbers at us in our town halls. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. All you guys do is play word games and throw numbers and think ain't nobody else supposed to catch on. We all want to live here comfortably. We don't want to have our taxes raised, and we don't want to sit in traffic for 15 to 20 minutes trying to pick up a child or trying to get to work or go to the store. Obviously, you guys don't shop here because I don't see nobody at Walmart or Fiesta, and that's all we basically have. Do something to help your resident, us, please. And that's all I gotta say, because this is getting ridiculous. You guys are just throwing surprises at people.
All right. Anyone else? Come on. Now, this is on item 13 now.
I know where we are.
Okay. I was just.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Jackson. I live at 9, for the next 3 weeks, I live at 900 Diane Circle. And yes, we're talking about, this is item 13 right here, right?
That's right.
I'm going to agree with this lady here. And I've called the city, I've called several people about the traffic and the school traffic and all of this. All I hear for the last 20 plus some years is is the same thing. This city is not growing. It's not doing anything for us. That I know exactly where this is. I pass there. I drive around sometimes. Look at all these lots we have. Look at all the growth we have here. But nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. And sometimes it's embarrassing. The people, girl, you live in Lancaster? It's embarrassing sometimes. It really is. And we pay a lot of taxes here. See, you guys know that we live at 900 Diane Circle. We own 2 other properties here. We actually own 3 other properties here in Lancaster. We are selling all of them. We are leaving because you're not growing. You're not doing anything for us. And I just wanted to say that because I've made complaints about stuff. Nothing happens. Nothing. And for us, your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Seeing none, we're going to close the public hearing. Council, what's your pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion to take no action.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to take no action. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those who oppose say no. Those who abstain shall abstain.
Abstain.
All right. All right, that moves us to, it carries, that moves us to executive session. City Secretary.
In accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, the City Council will convene an executive session to consider the following matters. 1, Section 551071 pending, threatened, contemplated, or potential related litigations in regards to A, real property located at 1508 Dewberry Boulevard, Bel Air Place Apartments. B, sales tax audit. C, requested disannexation for 2 parcels totaling approximately 104.4 acres. D, potential contested matters involving the city's Certificate of Convenience and Necessity, CCN, before the Public Utility Commission, PUC. E, potential hotel tax collection litigation. F, consider and take action to authorize litigation to address code enforcement and substandard property issues at the real property addressed as 1102 Katy Street.
All right, council. It is now 8:43. Meet us in the boardroom. But I will, between now and then, let's take a 5-minute recess break. All right, council, we are reconvening into open session at 9:07. City Attorney.
Yes, Mayor and Council, it is my understanding that Council would like to authorize the firm of Brown and Hoffmeister as Special Litigation Counsel to file a Chapter 54 lawsuit to address the code enforcement and substandard property issues at the real property addressed as 1102 Katy Street.
I make a motion, as David said.
I second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose say no. Those who abstain say abstain. Okay, it carries. Council, that concludes our business for tonight, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose say no.
Is this aye?
Those who abstain say abstain. All right, we are adjourned at 9:08. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
There, sir.